Revving up my engine, feeling that thrill. With Figure Fight Club, I'm ready to chill. Turbocharged dreams, I'm flying so high. Collecting those figures, reaching for the sky. Going turbo, can't slow down. Action figures all around. So many different scales.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Figure Showcase, and today we are going to be talking about the LM Toys Oaktown Fairy Elf. This is the box. It's actually really cool box art. I really do like it. The figure is actually pretty interesting too. So here's the side. I don't know which version I got. There was like an A and a B and a C, I think. I like how it says thank you for your purchase, but also, use that blow dryer. So thank you, LM Toys. I guess LM stands for Lazy Monster. It says it right on top of the packaging right there. But this is the box. Take me home. Let's open this up and see how it looks, because it's supposed to have some cool stuff in it. So let's take a look and we'll go from there. All right, so I just opened the packaging. Now this is everything that comes in the box. It's an elf chick, elf warrior. I'm not going to call her a princess, but she could be a princess. You never know. But this thing comes with a lot of stuff. I forgot what I paid for it, but it was definitely up there in price. It was around like 95 to 100 bucks, maybe even 80. I don't remember. But the figure itself is actually really nice. Good paint apps, good detail. I really dig that blue and silver color paint to it. The cool thing about this figure is you could hair swap or head swap too, because she has like a whole different head. So this head has the eye like warrior paint, but you could I have to probably grab it by the ears, but it's probably an easier way to do this. But I'm going to keep that on because right now I'm struggling. But we'll just show the other one. I think it came with this head originally when I first opened it up and as you can see, like there's a whole new torso here, so you could definitely take off a lot of these parts and swap them around. The thing I was talking about the hair was, she's got a little hole plug at the top over here, as you can see, and then the hair, you have 3 different hair pieces you can mess around with, and they just kind of slide in, and you have different looks you could do for each of them. I kind of like that hairstyle, but if you want to do the other hairstyle, you can easily do that as well. Should slide right in. I don't like that one as much, but as you can see, it just kind of slides right in and plugs into that hole. It's a great figure where you could T-pose it. She's got bicep swivel, double jointed. So and then I think there's a butterfly joint in there too, and her head just fell off. But there's a butterfly joint, and the fact that you could cross the arms. I'm a big fan of crossing the arms. The head needs to pop in a little bit better. Double jointed as well. Let's see how far we could go with this. About this far, split wise. She doesn't have any undies on, so yeah, you can make whatever you want of that. I think in this form you could actually make him completely buck if you want to, or you have the other version where she's kind of covered up. I'll probably split it to the other version where she has some cover up. But it's an overall a great figure. There's a lot of options here, right? You have the boots here that could likely come off, and then you could replace the boots here with some of the additional feet that came with it. So all those feet fan people out there, you got something from this figure. Now let's talk about accessories as well. So you got a shit ton of hands that come with it. There's 5 sets of hands that come with it. You got the 3 hair pieces, you got the additional torso and additional head. This head doesn't have the face paint. You have a staff that comes with it as well, which is nice. And you got the dual, I'm going to call it Elven swords. So, this looks like it was, you have a sack of arrows and then the bow. I wish there was string to go with this thing, but the bow looks pretty damn dope. And then I don't know what this was. This looks like a little clamp on, like just things you could clamp on, and you could probably like slide a sword in there, or there's a banana. It looks like a little strange, but I'm not gonna worry about that one right now. But overall, you got a cool warrior elf princess. It almost kind of get like, what's that? Dare I say that word? It's like mythic adjacent. But you could definitely mix it in with Savage Crucible and some of these other lines that kind of go that fantasy route. It's a cool looking figure, honestly speaking. I just wish there was some more expression in the head. You know, instead of giving us two, you know, one painted and non-painted, maybe even done a faceplate with like some expression heads, right? You know, a screaming face, or, you know, just something different. It just looks kind of, she's just kind of staring at you in a weird way, like, why are you looking at me? But I mean, it's a good figure. We'll mess with it a little bit more, you know, after this. I wanted to concentrate more on the articulation and then some of the options to kind of swap out, because again, this is one of those type of figures where you could easily swap stuff, move stuff around. You know, one thing right off the bat, I did move the hair, or change the hair from the blue piece. It took a little second to be able to get it, but I was able to get it. But one of the biggest things was the head kind of just, it sits on there, it goes in, but it just pops right out very quickly. So it you know, it's like, it's almost, it's weird, but like, I feel like it could have been filled in a little bit, but that's not a big issue because you could fix that with sticky tack or anything really. The cool thing was, I did swap out one of the hands. As you can see, she's holding our sword. One thing I was, you know, messing around with it, again, like, I just took out the hand, armor just comes right out, and then you have a kind of a different look with no armor, easily doable. I'm just like, apparently I've been known to like break stuff, so I'm just trying to be extra careful now so I don't break something on screen. But yeah, you know, just having different looks. Even the foot, we were talking about that comes, you know, just snaps right off. You could do a barefoot. I feel like that should go in, but I haven't done this yet, so let's be careful and not break stuff. Maybe that needs to be heated, but you guys get the idea of what I was trying to go with. I'm gonna heat that up before putting it in, but even the armor should slide right out. Yep, there you go. So you kind of have that bare, no armor look. Again, this one is completely buck, so she doesn't, you know, hide the tatas in the back or in the front. I think there are nipples down there, but let's put this one back on. And since the boot slides in a lot easier, we're gonna keep that boot on. But again, easily customizable. Now, I think there was like 3 options for these. I don't know if they were, you know, different skin tones, or were they like different breast sizes? You know how some of these third-party companies do some weird stuff like that. Well, they'll give you 3 different options. You have to buy all 3 of them. But the same hairstyles on all of them. I just bought the one. This is a cool looking figure. It's a little tall. It's very tall, and we'll do some size comparisons. But you know, it's cool that you have the double joints, and it's very smooth articulation on these. I didn't worry about heating them up at all. Like, it's literally, it's so butter smooth. It's crazy. Again, dynamic posing. The armor is a little bit tighter. It's like that thicker plastic, so you're gonna have issues spreading it out a little bit. The foot just fell off, but you just need to snap it back in properly, and it should be fine. But other than that, I think it's a cool looking figure. Again, very smooth articulation wise. I'm curious to see how it will look with the other body. Oops. With the other body that it came with. Again, she's completely buck under this. Then you have this option you could replace her with. Looks like the arms are swappable, the same with the legs. So that's pretty cool. Let's do some size comparisons and take a look at, you know, how tall she is compared to some of the adjacent lines. You know, dare I say it, the mythic adjacent. Like, everything is mythic adjacent nowadays, right? At least that's the comparison. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to compare how everything is adjacent. All right, so here's a size comparison to, let me bring this down a little bit. I feel like it's a little too high, so I feel like you can get a better look at the height. She definitely is a tall chick. Taller. I feel like she's almost, she looks like she's taller than Savage, and then also the Mythic Legions figure, if you don't count the big, like the fur part on his helmet. But, you know, she's definitely comparable. She's an elf warrior. The detail is there. I mean, all 3 lines are amazing details on these things, and they kind of fit right in. You know, you have the Savage Land on the right with the Savage Crucible figure, Varnox Unchained. It's a great figure. And then on the left, you what's his name? I forgot his name. It was Vitus from Mythic Legions. This is probably one of my favorite figures, to be honest with you, just because it never fell apart on me, and I probably own like 6 of them somewhere around my house. But the Warrior Princess Elf, the Warrior Elf fits right into it. It's a good looking figure. It's very compatible with the lore, I should say, because you know they all fight each other in a weird way. And plus, it's your own damn collection, dude. You guys could do whatever you want with it. Have fun, play with your toys. But we'll compare some other things and take a look at that. All right, guys, so here is another comparison. On the left, you have Sparrow Toys. I forgot the name of the character, but it's like a lion-looking dude, pretty cool looking. And then on the right, we have the Savage Land or the Snap 3-pack Shauna. You know, Sparrow Toys is right at 6 inches, so it kind of goes in well. I personally believe that not all people come in the same shape and sizes, so I'm okay with having a tall female and a smaller female. I feel like it just kind of goes well. Not everyone has to be the same height, in my opinion. But I think this will work pretty well together. Just a different look. So you could definitely mix these with like Marvel Legends and I mean Black Series possibly as well, to be honest. We'll take a look at that too. All right, so I guess shit, I just realized I didn't grab a Black Series. This is sitting, it's a custom George Lucas I have, but it's been sitting on my Black Series shelf just because it's George Lucas head on it, but whatever. I mean, Black Series are going to be around the same height or a little smaller. Anyway, but then this is a custom Mezco Hush I did. So that's a Mezco figure, and it was made from one of the Black Skull agents. So again, she's taller than both of them, but I feel like you could kind of fit into the world because she's supposed to be a great warrior elf. So that's how I look at it. All right, now for my last comparison, I wanted to have the Boss Fight Studio Red Sonja. She's obviously smaller than the LM Toys elf princess or warrior chick. And then I wanted to show off the Cesare Bernice. She's also smaller height-wise, but I think they're all three compatible with each other. I mean, I could actually envision like a cool shot with all three of them kind of battling it out. That would be pretty cool. Again, I think overall it's a good figure, and it kind of goes with a lot. It complements a lot of different lines where you could kind of go with each other. So that's cool about some of these third-party figures. And again, when I'm saying it's butter smooth articulation, it really is. There's no squeaks, no nothing. It kind of molds and holds when you start bending it. So, all right, guys. Overall, this is an awesome figure. I don't even know if it's still on 5K anymore or not. I don't think it is. It's kind of older figure, I want to say, but you could definitely find it on eBay for a very similar value of what you bought it for on 5K. It's an awesome figure. If you like the the Mythic Legion style or the Savage Crucible style, or just I like to call it like fairy tale or folklore. If you like that style of figures, you're definitely gonna like this one. It's a cool figure. I like the fact that it comes with a lot of accessory options and weapons, which is always a bonus point. Again, customizers out there, this is an easy kit bash. You could change it up into your own way. It comes with different hair pieces, and hell, it has 2 different head scans, or 2 different heads, I should say. So you could definitely use it for other lines as well. So a lot of this stuff works. Overall, it's a great figure. I recommend it. And then, make sure, if you're not following Figure Fight Club, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We do 3 live shows a week, and I've been doing a lot of this figure showcase, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. And till the next one.
My place, chasing the thrill. I'm never alone in this action figure world.